Hey Virgo, what's going on? This is Jen catching you on DTWJLife. Hope you're all having a great day and welcome to Pisces season. Thank you so much for your patience, for remaining subscribed, for watching. Pisces falls into the 12th house of the first zodiac belt, as I put it. And right now we are looking at endings, healing, closure, and spirituality. For now, I would like to mention that my readings are, why do I want to say disclosed? That's really weird. They're discounted up until June this year, because that's when the South and North Node energies shift. So, yes, coming up at the bottom of the deck, we have Harvest up right here. It's about working in harmony. It's about coming together with and embracing type of discipline that you already have to move forward with, coming in sixfold, guided by spirit. You're definitely in a harmonious place. Even if you have chaos going on around you, for some reason you don't feel the need to run around and fix everything. I don't know why. But let's pull up a card for each. One for endings. Okay, that's interesting. One for healing. Closure. Spirituality. Okay, you have one air, two water, and one spirit card. So, yikes. Okay. I think it's really cool that I mentioned that you kind of let go of this feeling of needing to run around and play damage control is really what it is. Because coming up in endings, what is ending for you is being stuck in old psychological patterns, just allowing things to run your day and run your life instead of you running it. That's coming to an end. What else is coming to an end? I'm looking at Jupiter here and Uranus, and I'm thinking about the idea or ideal of expanding upon your depths. And I think that it's not that you're ending that. That's definitely not it. You're done making more than enough room for certain things to happen, is what it is. Because it's an issue of everybody and everything running your day. And even if these people are not, necessarily toxic to you, some people could be very well-meaning and loving. And still, you give them that leeway to do that. It's a thing where you'll have to sit down and talk with them in a loving way and let them know, I think we need to kind of set new boundaries on this particular situation because I feel so exhausted most of the time. I'm always running around trying to fix everything. And I understand why you're not helping. I get it. I understand why sometimes you cannot help. But we need to change how this goes somehow. It seems like the flow chart of your day and how it runs needs to change on a very minuscule scale. And it only takes that one simple change to change how everything goes. This ending is actually not that huge or big, but it does have a big impact on your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health. You're done running around playing, Captain America, I guess, you're like the Captain America to your household. You're a little bit done with doing that. I mean, you already know what your responsibilities are, yes, but, and you also understand why certain people around you cannot help because maybe they're busy dealing with their responsibilities. So it's not an issue of clashing. It's definitely not that. It's more so a thing of planning or replanning how your day goes It could just take one small thing, one small, what do you call it, a detail that you just kind of need to iron out, and that'll put an end to all that chaos. Okay, that is really awesome. Coming up in healing, you have choice and passion upright. This says, whatever I will happens to me, coming in sixfold again, guided by spirit. And it's a spirit card. Very interesting. Very interesting. Originally at the bottom of the deck, we had a Harvest upright, which had Venus in it. This also has Venus in it. So you're reminded to rise to the occasion, Ascension, rise to the occasion to embrace the harmony that already does exist. That which I did mention earlier. Very interesting. That's one way that you can heal. It says, whatever I will happens to me. The choices that you make, what you put your passion into, can heal or harm you. I believe that's in tandem with endings, if you ask me. Which is not that big of a deal. You're not looking at something catastrophic or major. You're just looking at small details and small changes. For some of you, if you have children, your children feel ignored. This may not be for all of you. For some of you, it's a general reading. Okay. Some of your children might feel like they're being ignored. It could be while you're cleaning around the house. It could be maybe a lifestyle change. You went from parenting full-time to working, and they are not getting as much attention as they had beforehand, so they're feeling a little bit resentful about it. These are things that you cannot help, but if you can help the situation, healing this, the way to do that, put an hour or two aside for playtime. You might be exhausted at the end of the day, but trust me, it's worth it. To see that smile on their faces, to see them being happy, to see and feel them trusting you again with their emotions. Children are very sensitive. They always, for some reason, like they easily feel slighted. They easily feel crushed by the smallest things. And you wouldn't even be able to know at times what they are. But if you take just an hour or two at the end of every single day for playtime with them, not just homework time, not just bathing and showering and grooming and dressing into the pajamas and going to bed, not just the half-dos. Take more time, put more time aside for the want-tos. Because I know that you want to see a smile on their face. I know that you want them happy. And they also want your attention. I really feel like that needs to be healed in some way. There also might be a passion project if you don't have children. If you don't have children, there could be a passion project that you put on the back burner that you need to bring to the forefront. Pisces is a time of dreaming, of intuition, of psychology, playing with what is perceivably real and changing your perception on it, or changing how others perceive something. And that usually has to do with creative work or a passion project that you've left on the back burner. Revisit that, please. That needs to heal. Moving on to closure. There's something emotionally distant. It could be a loved one in your life, any type of relationship that is emotionally bankrupt or very emotionally shallow. Nobody's taking action on it. Nobody's nurturing it, and nobody's growing it. Neither you or this other person are taking time out to heal things or to rekindle things. Allow it to close as it is. Closure. Bring yourself the closure that you need. Allow the person to bring themselves the closure that they need. But something here needs to end. Interesting. This might be in tandem with the endings, as it may be another ending, because with endings come closure afterward. Very interesting. It is operating like a flow chart. I really like that. There's somebody in your life that you used to feel very close to, extremely close to, like they were the first person that you would always go to with anything and everything, or they would do that with you. And it's not like that anymore. It hasn't been like that for years. None of you, I mean, yes, life gets busy, but at the same time, none of you had really taken an effort to at least talk to one another. So, and it seems like every time that you talk to one another, it's really awkward. There are some undertones, there's subtext. It could get really annoying. It could actually be painful to talk to them. If it feels like this in any way, give yourself the closure and allow yourself to move on from this, because it's unhealthy. I don't know why it's unhealthy, but it's unhealthy. That's very sad. Again, it's a general reading. Coming up in spirituality, you have Father of Water upright. You are very rich and enduring in this area. You will always be. Like, that's always a constant. That never stops. But this is the minor arcana of Scorpio, which is a fixed sign. And any fixed sign, I'm not sure, Virgo, if you're a fixed sign or not, let me know in the comments, please. But any fixed sign sees everything through to the end. From initiation point forward to the end. Or maybe there is no end. That's what your semblance of discipline is, and that's how you move forward. That's how you live out your dharma. You're very rich in this area. You're very rich in spirituality, so allow that to take over and to touch every other part of your life from what this season, is bringing forward. Not just during this season, it could be at any given time. From endings to healing to closure. In these parts of your life, when dealing with these things, rely on your spirituality to guide you through it. Because you do have 2 6 cards that came up. Harvest upright and Choice and Passion upright. Spirit is guiding you through this. And you're not bankrupt in this area whatsoever. In fact, you're like the 100 to that 0. So, take the time out to rely on your spirituality however you do so. In that way. Let me see what else comes out for you. Don't change who you are. Don't change your appearance for people who are displeased by what you look like. Screw them. Let them judge you. Don't change the flowchart of your life unless there's something that needs to end, whether that's small or large. Do not change anything unless the change is warranted. If it's only when it's needed. Otherwise, don't change anything that you're doing. You're actually doing really well. I wish that this said the goat instead of the devil, because I think that's so ridiculous. I'm going to refer to this as the goat, because Capricorn is in the South Node right now, and it will be up until June. In your karma, you're being reminded to not ignore the things that you're passionate about, the people that you're passionate about, the people who rely on you the most. Always pay attention to that and never stop. Continue to grow these things, whether these are passion projects or these people, your children. Do not ignore the beauty that life had gifted you, ever. Because, as sensitive as they may come across at times, and you're just like, what the hell? They need you. Okay? They do, they need you. Very interesting. Your self-mastery is your divine reservoir. You've already mastered yourself, and you're not spiritually bankrupt at all. So, when it comes to people who feel painful to you, that you can't even speak to anymore, let them go. Let them go. Give yourself that closure. The universe is watching you, Virgo. Thank you so much for joining me. And until the next video, take care and blessed be.